how I grabbed an extra $1,420 and a whole bunch of stuff in the last 30 days, all with zero risk and hardly any work. In the last month, I tactically acquired $45 cash, $200 in Visa gift cards, $272 in cryptocurrency, $170 in Amazon gift cards, $28 of bank transfers, one cordless mini chainsaw, 6 iPhone chargers, 2 Bull Wizard figurines, 1 mid-grade pet grooming vacuum, 3 kilograms of aluminum armored copper wire, 1 red heater bag thing, 5 wooden pallets, 2 kilograms of burgers and fries from Wendy's, and a large soda. And the best for last, $705 of liquidated share value. That's $1,420 in liquid assets and plus all this other stuff. And all the methods that I used to acquire this are easily repeatable. Only one of these things took a significant amount of work and it was the least lucrative. If you've got gaps in your budget and you need to make more money so that you can pay off debt or invest, then ignore all that finfluencer side hustle garbage. This is the way to go. I'm personally saving up the money so that I can buy a marginally inhabitable foreclosed crack house in Baltimore as a real estate investment for the Freeloader challenge. Your goals are probably and should be quite different, but regardless of your goal, I invite you to join this challenge through our free Discord, link in the description. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you that participated in moomoo's free share promotion that I talked about in the last episode. We freeloaders have now collectively earned over 3,000 free shares from moomoo, so I did feed my dog chicken lo mein as promised. You can click the card if you want to see the full video. Moomoo is so pleased with all of you that they've decided to sponsor this video as well, and in April, new users who make a deposit can receive up to 15 free shares. Although many of you have done the free shares promotion, too few of you are getting your free merch. We are all entitled to free merch with our daily sign-in and spinner wheel. Too many of you are leaving this on the table. Get your free towels, backpacks, and toys in addition to your free shares. I've been using the spinner wheel to get free merch, and I already got this cow wizard figurine thing, and I've got another one being shipped. This isn't cheap plastic either. I mean, this is Warhammer level stuff. The broker is also doing a paper trade competition for the month of April, in which you compete for cash coupons for your virtual trades. Right now, I'm in 5th place, but if you did not start participating until the middle or end of April, don't be afraid that you've already missed out on your shot at the prizes, because anybody with a positive return is already on the leaderboard. By not participating, you are essentially holding cash, so you have a nice clean slate to get on that leaderboard quickly. This is only one of several events that moomoo has held this year. For example, shortly after New Year's, moomoo held a holiday sweepstakes, and amazingly, one of the freeloaders on our Discord actually won the $50,000 cash prize, so congratulations to him. We're not splitting the money or anything, but it is still really cool that one of the kamikaze freeloaders won 50 G's. The guy basically won the freeloader challenge in one shot. Meanwhile, I'm dumpster diving for copper. Maybe we'll clean house on the paper trade competition too and really take off. Hey, it's the freeloader challenge. Get your free money, get your free merch. You guys know where to find the referral link to get the full reward. I rate moomoo dank on the freeloader scale and recommend that you jump on board as well, even if you just want the free shares, the merch, the sweepstakes, and the paper trade competition. Thanks again to moomoo for the sponsorship, and now let's get back into the meat and potatoes. Next up to the plate. I grossly underestimated how many of you would be interested in your free daily dollar from stake.us. When I talked about this in the last episode, I thought most of you would be really disinterested in this, but it has been by far the most talked about freeloader method on our Discord. So let's spend a little bit more time talking about this than I did last time. Stake.us is a gambling website, but it uses some loopholes to pretend it's not a gambling website in order to avoid regulation. Part of that loophole is giving users a free dollar each day so that they can participate in the games without officially having to deposit their own money. Of course, they hope that you gamble that free dollar, get hooked, and then deposit your own money so that you can lose that in the casino. Instead, we're just going to claim our daily dollar, never gamble it, and then withdraw it as soon as we reach the minimum threshold. Depending on what kind of cryptocurrency you want to withdraw in, that's anywhere between $45 and $55. So if you give yourself about 6 weeks of claiming free money, you can take your money in either Tron or Litecoin. Bitcoin and some of the other ones have a little bit higher of a threshold. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if we compare that to dividend stocks, the picture changes. $1 a day in dividend would require that you hold about 200 shares of Coca-Cola stock. That's a little bit over $12,000 worth of shares to be equal to getting your $1 per day from stake. If you're a dividend investor who has a $5,000 portfolio, you are literally underperforming somebody who takes 15 seconds per day to go to stake, hit wallet, and claim daily bonus. Unfortunately, this is only available to US users who complete KYC. The last Freeloader video got about 20,000 views. 50% of them are American. We're potentially looking at taking $10,000 a day from Stake. This is absolutely fantastic, and we should continue to take money out of their pocket and put it into our pockets. Over the past 48 days, I received my daily dollar and withdrew it as Litecoin to my Trust wallet. I rate Stake.us as dank, and I plan to continue taking my free daily dollar for as long as this website exists. If you are not in the US, then unfortunately you can't do this. But don't worry, Stake.com, which is the international version, has something that you can use. It's done in conjunction with our next Freeloader method, which is Freecash. This is a get paid to website where you get paid to try apps. You can play the mobile games and earn a few bucks, or you can do some of the more in-depth activities and sometimes earn up to $100 for an hour or two. I actually had a good bit of fun playing the tower defense game Rush Royale and made 15 bucks off of it, and I didn't get the full reward from dice streams, but I did make $57 out of the possible 176. If you like mobile games and already play them, then this is a good way to make some extra money. But Freecash really shines when you do the higher paying offers. For example, I signed up to be a DoorDash driver through the Freecash promo and got paid an extra $155 after my second delivery. It took me about 30 minutes to claim that reward, and since I made $155 that day, I also placed number 12 on the Freecash leaderboard and received another $7. So for 30 minutes worth of work, I got $162 from Freecash. Even if you are a mobile gamer, I still strongly recommend focusing on the highest paying offers. DoorDash specifically is as easy as it gets, but Freecash also has offers from banks and investment accounts where you get as much as $50 to $100 for signing up. From Freecash, I collected a total of $202 in the past month. Most of it was that one DoorDash offer. The rest was from a series of mobile games. And what I mentioned earlier about Stake and Freecash in conjunction for people that are not from the US. Although you cannot claim your free daily dollar, you can withdraw your Freecash balance to Stake.com, not Stake.us, and you'll get a 15% bonus for doing so. So your $155 reward from DoorDash just became $178. Then you would just withdraw the balance from Stake without gambling it. This is what you get instead of your free daily US dollar. Freecash is absolutely dank. And even if you don't like mobile games, just scoping out once in a while for the high-paying offers is absolutely worth your time. And don't forget, they have the daily reward ladder where you can earn extra money just for logging in. Signing up with my referral will also give you a bonus box to get you started. Although I've spoken highly of DoorDash via Freecash several times already, DoorDash could also be its own freeloader method. Even though I got the $155 Freecash promo within the first half hour, I continued dashing because I wanted to see how much money I could make in a full hour. In my first hour ever on DoorDash, I made just under $28. $11 was from DoorDash itself, and the rest was from tips. Initially, I was really skeptical about DoorDash, but it really is easy to use if you live in the right area. The app sends you to these hotspot strip malls where customers are ordering. You just go to the parking lot and you start getting orders in like 2 minutes. You go into the store, you get the food, and then you drive it down the street to drop the food off. There really isn't a lot of waiting around, and I was getting new orders pretty much as soon as I dropped off the previous one. When I went into Dunkin' Donuts to pick up one order, I actually got a second order from Dunkin' Donuts while I was there, so I was able to drop both of them off and complete the orders quickly. I expected a lot of sitting around in parking lots, but DoorDash kept me moving and earning. But in an hour of doing this, I made 5 deliveries and made $28. But of course, you have to factor in the cost of gasoline. And don't underestimate how many miles you're putting on your car. After the cost of gas and depreciation, I probably made about $23 of profit. They also sent me this insulated bag thing, which is a pretty good bag. Even if you're not going to do DoorDash, it's still good for personal use. I probably won't do a whole lot of dashing, but I am going to try this at least one more time on a military base. If you DoorDash on base, you get $4 additional per order. So with 5 deliveries in an hour, that would have brought me from $28 to $48. Now you're making good money even after depreciation and gasoline. Of course, you need credentials to get on base, and I can do that easily because I'm a veteran. Not everybody can do that. When considering if this is dank or whack, you have to realize that what you're doing most of the time is liquidating the equity of your car and turning it into cash. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if you were able to do it on the spot, but with DoorDash, you're eating up a lot of your time while degrading your car. I think DoorDash is dank because I live in a semi-urban suburb and it's easy to get the orders done quickly. But if you're driving long distances, then this would be whack. All of the delivery apps are going to depend on where you live. The next method has been a reliable one for the entire Freeloader challenge: focus groups. This month I did 3 focus groups and received $200 in Visa gift cards and $170 in Amazon gift cards. Next month I have another focus group lined up and I'll receive $150. Focus groups are the best way to make money online. They're very simple and they pay a lot. A company wants feedback on a product or an idea, so they pay potential customers like us to help improve their service. I did one for a company that wants to make a new mobile banking app. They paid me $200 for 60 minutes spread across 3 days. I did another one for a furniture store that wanted feedback on their advertising ideas. I got $120 for 2 hours. And the last one was for Discord mods, and I got paid $50 for 45 minutes. Next month, I have one on cameras that will pay me $150. Since all we are doing is giving advice, there is no monetary risk to you. It's just a short-term but high-paying gig. Some guys are making a lot of money doing this. Big Papa Lasagna on Discord regularly makes over $1,000 a month on focus groups. In January, he broke $2,000. Maybe one day I can get on his level. There are many websites that organize these focus groups. In the pinned comments of Discord, Big Papa Lasagna has a running list. I'm mainly on userinterviews.com because I find it to be the most user-friendly, but your preference might be different. Some people have no luck on user interviews, and I don't know why. Just try a different website. I recommend starting with user interviews because it's the easiest one to use, and then branching out from there. My referral to user interviews in the description will get you an extra $10 after you complete your first focus group. I reiterate my dank rating and recommend focus groups in the strongest possible terms. Next up is an idea that I got from finance YouTuber Joshua Mayo. He presented convincing DD that wooden pallets are in high demand, and he says that if you can get your hands on them for free, then selling them can be very lucrative.
You could go and pick up these pallets completely free and then resell them for thousands of dollars.
I decided to give it a shot, and I went to my favorite group of dumpsters to find some material. Yes, I have a favorite bunch of dumpsters, and I'll explain why in a minute. I found a surprising number of wooden pallets behind my dumpster spot, and I was ready to go. I obviously couldn't call a buyer off of Craigslist and tell him to come meet me behind the dumpster because I clearly did not own these pallets. There would be no reason for him to actually pay me, so I made a couple of trips to my house with a car full of pallets. Once safely at my house, I discovered very quickly that pallets are much harder to sell and not nearly as valuable as Joshua Mayo explained. A recycling center will give you 50 cents, sometimes up to $1 per pallet, and a serious pallet buyer isn't gonna come and get 5 of them from you. I called 3 different places, and the minimum order for them to come pick up was 100 pallets. If you did have 100 wooden pallets laying around, then yes, you could get $150 to $200. On Facebook Marketplace, people are giving away tons of pallets for free. I'm just not seeing a liquid market for these wooden pallets outside of recycling centers, which pay you almost nothing. Luckily for me, I'm redoing my backyard anyway, and I can use these pallets to hold some material, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. I don't regret trying this out, but I rate wooden pallet resale as whack, and contend that Joshua Mayo has no idea what he's talking about. Now, given that I was already at my favorite dumpster zone, I decided to dive once more. I didn't plan on doing any dumpster diving this time, but I was already there. My favorite materials are raw copper or brass, but those are usually pretty hard to find, and I was only able to dig out a small amount. Most of the material this round was aluminum armored copper wire. I also found a broken extension cord that I can recycle for the copper. This group of dumpsters is my favorite because several times in the past, it's been a dumping ground for businesses that are doing remodels. I have no idea where the copper is actually coming from. These dumpsters just keep getting replenished with valuable metal. It's like a loot box for scrappers and homeless people. In the past, I've got caught diving twice by trash people, but they just told me it's no problem and I should continue with my activities. One guy even took a selfie with me and subscribed to my YouTube channel on the spot. I still need to take this material to the scrapyard, and I'll do that for the next episode, but given the weight of this, I don't expect a whole lot for it, maybe 10, 12 bucks on the high end. If you work in demolition or something like that, and you can get a consistent supply of valuable metal, then this can be a dank addition to your day job. But even as a regular civilian with a constantly replenishing supply of metal in a dumpster, this still isn't worth the amount of time. So unless you work in a business where the supply of metal is constant, this will be whack. The next method was inspired by trash connoisseurs who don't like how I'm assigning a whack rating to dumpster diving. They recommend rummaging through residential trash instead, an alternative technique known as trash foraging. Last episode, I went around my own neighborhood and found a broken vacuum which I fixed, a low-grade modem router, and a brand new SodaStream. However, I was struggling to liquidate them. Fortunately, these items that were sitting around on Facebook Marketplace for weeks finally started to get some hits. I sold the SodaStream for $25 and sold the vacuum for $100. Problem is, the person who bought the vacuum said that it broke again, so I had to give them their $100 back in exchange for the broken vacuum. I was pretty done with this thing, so my brothers and I decided to destroy it with a baseball bat and a brick. Check the card for the full video if you want to watch me beat the plastic out of a broken Dyson. I also cut off the cord and took a couple internal components that I'll lump in with my metal recycling for the next episode. Ultimately, this method netted me only $25 when a Facebook buyer bought the SodaStream. And Facebook Marketplace itself is also riddled with scams. Most of the responses you get are from people that are trying to get you to verify your phone number for their Google Voice so that they can use your phone number to make spam calls. But if you can avoid them, there are real buyers. Although selling on Facebook Marketplace is fine, rummaging through other people's trash to try to find valuable material is not as lucrative as some people explain, and therefore trash foraging is whack. I do hear tell that you can get some really good items by rummaging through college campuses around move-in day, so I might try this again in May. Until then, I'm done. Shooting from a different angle, let's talk about getting free stuff from Amazon. This month, I received a mid-grade pet vacuum and a wireless mini chainsaw. These retail for about $190 between the two of them, and I got them for free. This is possible through a Discord group that specializes in reviewing Amazon products. Mods on that server connect with merchants who are willing to give away free items in exchange for boosting their sales and getting reviews. It's usually a new company with no sales, and they need to get the ball rolling so that they can get ranked on Amazon. Anyone is allowed to join this Discord group and shop for items. They've got everything from supplements to fleshlights. If you're willing to give that item a 5-star review, then the merchant will reimburse you via PayPal. The two obvious problems are that 1, the item could be garbage. That is why we only purchase the items that have a favorable return policy. If the item does show up and it's a piece of junk, don't give it a 5-star review, because then you're tricking other Amazon buyers. Just return the item to Amazon and get your normal refund. Have some integrity. Luckily, I've only had that problem once in about 10 months of doing this. I returned a really bad metal detector, and it was fine. It was no problem for the merchant. They even recommended a different one that was of higher quality. Most of the items that I've received have actually been really good stuff. The other problem is that Amazon will block your account from reviewing if you start giving 5-star reviews to large numbers of items out of the blue. To protect yourself from that, limit yourself to no more than 2 items per month. There are some items that don't require a review or a rating at all. The phone chargers I got, for example, required no review at all. You just get reimbursed on delivery. So even if you do get boxed out of reviews, you can still do the delivery-only items. The question everyone asks is, can I buy the item, get reimbursed, and then sell it? The answer is yes, you can do that. And in fact, after sitting on a pair of binoculars that I got for like 4 months, I was finally able to sell it for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. The aftermarket for most of this stuff is really not that liquid, but if you're patient, you can do it. Just don't receive the item, get reimbursed, and then return it to Amazon. If you do that, then the server will permaban you immediately. This server doesn't want me sharing the invite link on YouTube because then it would just get flooded with refugees. But you can find the invite to this server in the pinned comments of my own Discord. Don't come spamming up the server asking for the link. Just go to the Freeloader channel and click on pinned comments. I certainly rate the freebies server as dank. Just keep in mind that its primary use is to get the free stuff that you actually need. Don't expect to go wheeling and dealing a whole bunch of items to make money. Next up, we're finally getting to the end here, is the multiple kilograms of free food from Wendy's. Granted, this is not something that we can count on happening all the time, but Wendy's is one of the chillest companies, and they have great promotions via Twitter. At the end of March, Wendy's was giving $30 vouchers to anybody who placed an order with DoorDash. They announced this promotion via Twitter, and pretty much immediately, the Freeloader channel on Discord was abuzz. I took out my phone and ordered about 1.5 kilos of burgers and fries. Then I took my wife's phone and ordered a bunch of Frosties and some more burgers. People on Discord were doing the same thing, and we collectively ordered easily thousands of dollars worth of fast food. It was absolutely disgusting. According to Wendy's via DoorDash, they delivered free food to about 9% of all US households. That's somewhere in the ballpark of about 10 million houses ordering Wendy's and maybe 50 million burgers delivered in 2 days. And despite all the things going on in the world, that is by far the most American thing to happen so far in 2023. Free food is obviously dank, and you can follow Wendy's on Twitter to see more promotions. Or just keep up with the Freeloader channel and we'll make sure nobody misses out. And now finally, the secret method involving investment brokers. Out of respect for the people that put this in front of me, I promised not to blast it out all over YouTube. The people who showed me this are concerned that if too many people catch on, then the whole method will be squashed. The number of us talking about this on Discord continues to grow, but I won't say anything more about it here. However, I'm not going to pull up the ladder behind me either. If you want to find out more, join Discord, it's free, there's no upsells, and then go to the Freeloader channel. Again, don't come asking around about the secret method, just go to the pinned comments. All I'll say for now is that this only works if you're American, as far as I know, and you need to be able to access the commission-free brokers. I know this sounds really sketchy, but I promise you I'm not going to try to upsell you into some kind of course. This is just about keeping the method slightly on the DL so that it doesn't get completely flooded. Since I made $705 off of this, it's obviously very dank. Honestly, this is probably the only thing I need to do to win the Freeloader challenge. But that's no fun and it would still kind of take a while, so I'm going to continue with the other activities as well. Plus, I'm a complete addict for trying to find new and exciting ways of making risk-free money. With all of these returns, the money that I got from the secret method will stay where it is. In fact, I'm probably going to reinvest another $200 or so back into expanding that method. You don't need a lot of money to do it, you just need a lot of storage on your phone. The other $1,200 is going to remain as cash until I can figure out what to do with it. I decided to take on a challenging endeavor from here and got licensed by the state of Virginia to import and breed non-venomous species of fish, amphibians, and reptiles. I can only breed frogs, snakes, and iguanas if I'm affiliated with a scientific laboratory, which I am not. So that leaves fish and crawfish. Fortunately, I have a large pond behind my house that is a suitable breeding ground for hardy fish, especially tilapia. My two neighbors and I ended up dumping about $120 so far into tilapia guppies and some of these orange fish, I'm not sure what they're called, to serve as tracer rounds. The tilapia are hard to pick out from the native fish in the pond, but these tracers make it easier to monitor the condition of the imported species. We aren't entirely sure on what our end game is, but I'm licensed to sell live or cooked tilapia up to something like 4,000 kilograms annually on my license. We're also considering breeding rare fish like kohaku koi, which could bring some serious bang. These are like $200 fish. I've made another channel on this venture so I don't spam Kamikaze Cash with fish breeding. You can follow this mission on the channel Homestead Homies. I'll link it in the description. Right now we're all in on fish breeding, but we're also considering adding chicken ranching to our repertoire. You'll see content on Homestead Homies in the near future. This was an extremely long episode of the Freeloader challenge, but I made a lot of money in a bunch of different ways, so that kind of makes sense. Throughout now 13 episodes of the Freeloader challenge, I'm finally closing in on that $10,000 mark. Next time we talk, I'll very likely have broken into those 5 figures. I tell you now, I am committed to making sure that I win the Freeloader challenge. Thank you all for watching, and don't hesitate to reach out on Discord.